In previous video, we studied about the structure of atom of a first 20 element. Now, in this video, we are going to study about some important terms of chemistry. Let's start with a element. Now, what is element? Let's take an example. Suppose we have iron rod. If we cut that iron rod, we get a small particle of iron, that is called iron fillings. Okay, we cannot get the particle of another kind of a substance. Why? Because iron is a element. So what is element? Element means a substance which cannot be converted into its simpler form by any kind of physical or a chemical process. Now, let's see the classification of element. Now, elements are classified into three different types. First is metal, second is non-metal, and the third one is metalloid. Now, let's see the examples of a metal. We all know the example of a metal like iron, Fe, copper, Cu, aluminium, Al, sodium, Na, potassium, K, silver, Ag, and aurum means gold, Au. These all are the symbols of a metal. Similarly, non-metal. Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, bromine, iodine. These are the example of non-metal. Okay. Now, we all know what is the metal and non-metal. But let's see what is metalloid. Element having properties of both metal as well as non-metal called metalloid. Okay, see, metal and non-metal both are a different thing, but metalloid means having property of both metal and non-metal. Example of a metalloids are boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, and polonium. So these are the example of metalloid having property of both metal and non-metal. Now, let's see the distinguish between metal and non-metal on the basis of their physical properties. First of all, state. Generally, all metals found in a solid state, where non-metals found in solid as well as gaseous state. Okay, so generally all metals are solid, but mercury and gallium, these two are a metal, but they are found in a liquid state. So we consider these two metal as an exception. Okay, mercury and gallium, though they are metal, but found in liquid state. Similarly, bromine is the only non-metal which is found in liquid state. So in case of a non-metal, bromine is an exceptional case. Now, the second physical property is luster. Now, what is meant by luster? If we cut any surface, any metal, we get a shiny surface of that metal. So that shiny appearance is called luster. Okay, so all metals having luster property, whereas non-metal do not have luster property. They do not shine on cutting. But we have exceptional case iodine and a diamond. Diamond is a form of a carbon, allotropes of a carbon. Okay, here first of all we should know what is allotrope. Okay, now let's see what is allotropy. Allotropy means an element can exist into two or more different form, having same chemical property but different physical properties is called allotropy. Okay, carbon, the different forms of a carbons is graphite, diamond and charcoal. Graphite, diamond and charcoal, they are the allotropes of a carbon, having same chemical property but they all have a different kind of a physical property. Like graphite is a good conductor of electricity, whereas diamond is a bad conductor of electricity. Graphite is soft as compared to the diamond. Okay, so the we should know what is allotropy. Okay, now we'll continue with a luster property, that metal shows a luster property whereas non-metal do not shows luster property. Okay, and iodine and a diamond in the form of a carbon is exceptional case. Now the another property is sonorous. Sonorous means a ringing sound. When a coin is dropped from our hand, a ringing sound is produced. That a capacity of produce ringing sound is called sonorous property. So metal has sonorous property whereas non-metal do not have sonorous property. Ductility. What is ductility? A capacity of an element to gets converted into the wire form. So metal easily converted into the wire form. So metal are ductile whereas non-metal they do not get converted into the wire form. So they are non-ductile. Malleability. What is malleability? The capacity of element to get converted into the sheet is called malleability property. So metals are easily gets converted into the sheet. So metals are malleable whereas non-metal are non-malleable. Then the conduction of heat and electricity. We know that in our house to supply the electricity we use copper wire. Okay, because copper is a metal and metal are good conduction of a heat and electricity. They easily conduct heat as well as electricity. Similarly, non-metals they do not conduct heat and electricity, but here carbon is a exceptional case. Graphite, a form of a carbon, as we already studied. So graphite is a good conductor of electricity, though it is a non-metal. And next one is melting point and boiling point. Because all metals found in a solid state, they have high melting point and boiling point, whereas non-metal they have low melting point and boiling point. This downward arrow shows that the non-metal has low melting point and boiling point. In metal we have exceptional case sodium, potassium, mercury and gallium. Though they are metal but they are soft metal, so having low melting point and boiling point, whereas diamond, a form of a carbon, allotropes of a carbon, it's extremely hard, so has high melting point and boiling point.